Hey there, thanks for joining today. Today I'm going to review decimals and then give you a little bit of homework. So, important thing about decimals is we have to remember place value. Before you think about decimals, we first learned about place value. We learned the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and so on. They just keep getting bigger. From the ones to the tens, the numbers are getting 10 times bigger. 1 times 10 is 10. From the tens to the hundreds, the numbers are getting 10 times bigger as well. 10 times 10 is 100. From hundreds to thousands, it's the same thing. Numbers are getting 10 times bigger. It's because we operate in the base 10 system. So place value, when the numbers are expanding towards the left, they're getting 10 times bigger. When we think of decimals, we can kind of think of them in terms of fractions. Fractions are parts of wholes, just like decimals represent a part of a whole. 0.25, we think about that as money. That is 25 cents. That is part of a dollar. It's not a whole dollar, it's just part of it. So the decimals, like I said, when we expand our place values to the left, the numbers are getting 10 times bigger. When we expand and we go to the right of the decimal point, the numbers are getting 10 times smaller. So the number to the right of a decimal, immediately to the right of a decimal, is 10 times smaller than 1, the whole number of 1. So that means it takes 10 parts to make one whole. Then if we expand the place value to the right one more, so we have 2 decimal places, that is when we expand to the hundredths. The numbers are getting 10 times smaller than 1/10. So 1/10 divided by 10 is going to give us, we flip that fraction, so that's 1/10 times 1 over 10, and then we get 1 times 1 on top, 10 times 10 on the bottom, 1/100th. That is why that is the 100th place. So say we have the decimal 0.1. That represents 1/10 because it's in the 10th spot. We had 0.11, that would represent 11/100ths because there are 2 decimal places, which means we are in the hundredths. So if you think about the decimal places, converting them to fractions, they are only going to be converted into fractions over 10, 100, 1000. And that's all we'll work with for now, is up to the thousandths place, which is 3 decimal places. So if I had the number 0.123, we would read that as 123 over 1000 because it's 3 decimal places. So if it's 1 decimal place only, then we know that's the tenths. So it's whatever number is shown there. So if it's 0.9, we know it's 9/10. It's 9 out of 10. If it's 2 decimal places, it's out of 100. So if we had 0.99, that is 99/100ths. And if we had 3 decimal places, that is out of 1,000. So it's whatever the digits are to the right of the decimal over 1,000. So if we had 0.343, we would read that as 343 over 1,000. So knowing that, I'm going to now give you some homework. I'm going to give you 20 problems to do, and you have pretty much the whole class to do them. So first problem is, well, let me start out. The way I want you to do these is I want you to write the decimal. So if I say 0.1 equals, then I want you to write 0.1 equals, and then the fraction that that represents. And like the example before, we know that that equals 1/10. If the fraction is something that you can simplify, then I want you to simplify the fraction up to the 100ths. So when I ask you 3 decimal places, you do not have to simplify that. That's just a lot of work. So again, number 1, you write 0.1 equals, and then give me what the fraction is. If you can simplify it, please simplify it. Number 2 is 0.4 equals, and give me what the fraction is. If you can simplify it, simplify it. Number 3, 0.7 equals, Number 4, 0.9 equals. Number 5, 0.01 equals. Number 6, 0.09 equals. Number 7 is 0.12 equals. 0.12 equals. Number 8 is 0.19 equals. 0.19. Number 9 is 0.25 equals 0.25. Number 10 equals 0.33 equals. Number 11 is 0.42 equals 0.42. Number 12 is 0.50 equals 0.50. 13 is 0.69 equals 0.69. Number 14 is 0.75 equals 0.75. Number 15 is 0.89 equals 0.89. Number 16 is 0.94 equals 0.94. Number 17 is 0.123 equals 123 equals. Number 18 is 0.333 equals, so 0.333. 19 is 0.55, or excuse me, 0.555, no, that's what I said, 0.555. So number 19 is 0.555 equals 0.555. And number 20 is 0.999, 0.999. So do those problems. And then after you do those problems, you can take a little break and then come back. I have 5 word problems for you to do. So what you can do is listen to each word problems as many times as you need, and then try to figure out what numbers you need to work with and how you're going to solve the problem. So number 1 is each van fits 5 students. If a class of 95 students went on a field trip, how many vans are needed? So each van fits 5 students. If a class of 95 students went on a field trip, how many vans are needed? Number 2, Chris walked 35 more miles than Corbin. If Chris walked 70 miles, how many miles did Corbin walk? Chris walked 35 more miles than Corbin. If Chris walked 70 miles, how many did Corbin walk? Number 3, Dave has 9 $5 bills. So how much money does he have? Dave has 5 $9 bills. How much money does he have? 4, a pack of toys comes with 8 toys. If 5 boxes is bought, will that be enough for 45 children? If the answer is no, then how many boxes will be needed? Again, if a pack of toys comes with 8 toys, will 5 boxes be enough for 45 children to get 1 toy? If no, then how many boxes will be enough? And last problem, number 5. Daniel has 4 people in his family. All of them have all of their fingers. So how many fingers does the whole family have, including thumbs? So Daniel has 4 people in his family. All of them have all of their fingers. How many fingers does the whole family have? So do those problems, record all of your answers in Braille, in Nemeth, recheck them if you can, and let me know if you have any problems. If you can't finish this during class time, then please finish it as homework. Thank you.